today, our operators has already checked the beam ports that ensured them that all of them are closed and are locked. So there should be no beam ports that are open at the time. And finally, we also check the thermal column, and using the same method, we are sure that it is also closed. So now we will do the calibration of the instrumentation system. Okay, when we raise or lower the control rods to indicate startup, we have to mention using the PA system to let the workers know that we are going to achieve criticality in the reactors. Therefore, those that are working in the reactor hall or at the reactor deck, they are able to take precautions when working on or nearby the reactor deck. So I will show you the process computer, and in the process computer, we can see the positions of the control rod and also the power level of the reactor. So currently, the safety rod has been able to be raised to 100%, and then the shim rod currently is being raised up to 44%, 45%, and the regulating rod is still at 0. So typically, when we are going to make the reactor operational, we have to raise the control rod to a certain position. So here at the Cartini reactor, they have a preference to put the safety rod at 100%, and then the compensation rod, or here it is written as the shim rod, at 70%, and then the regulating rod is raised to adjust the power level required. So typically for 100 kilowatts, the position will be 100, 70, and around 45. Okay, now it is at 170 and 22. It will raise the power and so here we are trying to raise the power level. So now we are at 10 minus 4 watts, and then the operator will raise, but there is a steep increase in the period. Therefore, to raise the position must be done quite slowly, so not to trigger the scram. So typically, when we are going to raise the power level, to do it quickly but safely, we try to maintain the period between 10 to 15, because if we go near 7, it will trigger scram, but if we do it around 20 to 30, it may take quite a long time for the reactor to reach the desired power level. Okay, now the period has gone down quite significantly. It indicates the reactor has been already in a critical condition. So in the Cartini reactor, typically the lowest power level where we can reach criticality is at 10 watts. So it is at 10 minus 2 in the logarithmic scale. So now we are at 100 watts, and then the power system and the left will start to raise significantly because we are in the working range for the linear power system. And the operator tries to maintain the power increase by keeping the period range in 10 to 15 to ensure we have a good time in raising the control rods, so it will not take too long. Okay, now we are at 100 kilowatts, and there will be a visual cue from the. It will answer the question from, I guess, from Mr. Amir Garabi. So when we reach around 70 kilowatts, the radiation protection system, gamma area monitor, will start giving a beep indicating there is a radiation in the reactor check area. So now we will show the sharing of radiation, because we are now at a critical condition at 100 kilowatts. If you see at the screen, now we can see the sharing of radiation that is emitted at the reactor core, which is at 100 kilowatts. This is quite bright, so the luminescence of the Cherenkov radiation sometimes it depends on the background lighting here at the canteen reactor, because if the weather is quite bright, we cannot see the Cherenkov radiation because it is quite dim. So here we can hear faintly in the background a small beeping noise. The beeping noise is from the gamma area monitor as part of the radiation protection system. So starting at 70 kilowatts, it will start to beep, indicating that there is sufficient radiation exposure at the reactor deck, so that we have to be careful when working at the reactor deck. Okay, now we are at the 100 kilowatts, and we can see the Cherenkov radiation. So now I would like you to see the radiation levels at the system. To do this, I hope this one will answer Mr. Amir's question. Okay, this one shows the radiation levels at the reactor area. So the bottommost part is the control room. So at the control room, the gamma area monitor shows exposure of 0.1 microsieverts per hour, which is low and it is safe. And at the reactor deck, which is the one at the center, it shows 3.4 millironson per hour. And here in the Cartini reactor, our limit is at 10. Another point that is interesting to observe is the topmost value, because it indicates the radiation exposure at the demineralizer system. The demineralizer system, they will trap ions and any activation product that are built, that is created during our operation. Therefore, at the demineralization system, the radiation exposure will increase over time. So right now it is still at 0.3, 1.9. So it's going to be very low, but later when we check again, it will rise and become quite high. Okay, now we will fill out the form for the operational at a certain power level. So here we will fill out the power level form. So the power level is at 100 kilowatts. The time is at 10:26. So we reach criticality at 10:26, and then the power level is at 100 kilowatts with the positions of the control rods at 100, 71, and 47%.